no matter which decision you make and what direction you go in, I'm actually very interested to see what your story is, if you're willing to share it with me, which is the currency here. I did our first interview tonight with Paladin. I enjoyed talking to him. And I have another gentleman I'm going to be interviewing on Tuesday. So I'll have another one on Tuesday night. So we might do two a week if I can find a way to get it in there. But at least one per week. I have so many of them. If you email me, just know if I haven't responded to you or say anything, it's 'cause I have a lot of you. And I'm doing it in the order I received them. So that way I'm not cherry picking anybody. I've literally, Paladin was the first one. And the gentleman I'm going to be talking to on Tuesday, he's the second one. And the folks that are right behind him, they'll get an email just like they did. And it's just basically saying, this is the day I'd like to do it. If it doesn't work, let me know. And I give them the list of questions I intend to ask them. And then you see it. Real people, real faces, real money. The companies themselves have interviewed them. The payouts are verified. You can see it. It's there. So it's, to me, it's a source of inspiration. And I use the title Real Money, Real People because that's how I started. Ken Roberts, that garbage book that I bought that I thought was going to change the world for me. His little cassette tape that he sold me on the idea with was titled Real Money, Real People. And it was interviews with people that were using commodities to make money. So I'm full circle going right back into how I started. What was my inspiration? So I know seeing individuals, seeing their face, reading their emotions from their discussion, how they're talking to you, how they're talking with me, the way they share their experience, it's genuine. It's not like if I was talking to someone right here on this, which is, I've contemplated doing that. Like I contemplated having like the interviews over Twitter, but I don't manage my own Twitter spaces. Once I do them, I'm done. And other people upload them and whatever. You can do whatever you want with them. I don't care. But I just wanted to see their face. Like to me, it's an emotional thing. Like when I was doing that tonight, I had to fight back, the emotion that I was feeling. And when I watch the playback, I'm looking like I'm a substitute teacher and I'm watching a class that I don't have any affinity for. When in reality, I was very emotional. Like I was very emotional and I was trying to keep my composure because I'm so appreciative of him, number one, sharing his experience with me and allowing it to be seen by everyone. He's obviously done interviews with other folks before too, but to me, it's meaningful because he's saying that he uses what he's learned from me, and that to me is wonderful. And I'm thankful that the Lord has allowed me to have that impact on his life and other folks that are in my inbox waiting to have a conversation with me and share their experience with you as well. And more of them came in today. So, I mean, as obviously as we go forward throughout this year, folks that are more versed in trading, that are already trading with live funds and can find profitability, they're going to, I'm certain, have a testimony of their own, and they'll probably reach out to me, and I'm anxious to have a conversation with them as well. There's just a lot of them, and I'm not going out of the order that they came to me. Not all of them are going to be $250,000, $300,000. Not all of them are like that. Some of them are 20,000. Some of them are 10,000. You know, isn't that, in my opinion, that's still noteworthy. Like you're not demo trading, and to see the response and hear their appreciation for having this skill set taught to them, they can now do it. That's meaningful to me. It may not be as meaningful to you because you can't do it yet, but you're learning how to do it. And I'm excited to talk to you too. Like I want to see more of all of you. And I've had a lot of individuals through my mentorship over the years. People reach out to me, send private links to videos on YouTube, or send me things, through other mediums. And my family and I had the wonderful privilege and pleasure to see and hear them, show their appreciation. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful repayment for everything I'm poured into this. Because it's one thing to say, thanks ICT in a tweet, there it is, that's cool. But when someone spends time and they show you their face and they talk from their heart and show you the appreciation, the fact that, I didn't have to do this. I mean, I could have went back on my promise that if I was taught how to do this and I could do it, I would teach the rest of my life and teach other people how to do it. I could have went back on that, but I didn't want to do that. Sometimes I do because it's hard to manage all of your personalities and your demands on me, and I have to balance a lot of other things and on top of what I'm doing here. But when I see folks really give a heartfelt thank you, and I can see them, my wife's, it's to me, when my wife saw this young man tonight, it's just one more of what she's already seen many of. And that's what I got her to tell me one time we were taking a ride. And I think I've said this to you before, but for her to say, I can understand now why you do it. And I didn't understand it before. Like, because she always thought that all of you were stealing her time because I spend more time with all of you than I spend with her. And it's been like that our entire marriage. It's she's a different kind of woman. There's not a lot of women out there that would want to allow something like this. But she understands that this is who I am. This is who I was when she met me. And she's never said, stop being who you are. And I wouldn't. I'm incapable of it. But for her to say, because she's seen so many people's lives being impacted and changed for the better, to see them, emotionally break down and say, this is what I'm able to do now. And something took me out of my work, some accident, something, health wise. I can't do this anymore. But now because of this, I'm able to do that. And when you see that and they are heartfelt and they're tearful and they're just so emotionally committed to now doing this because they've seen it work for them. And us as a family, like I let my kids see it because it's, to me, it's like, I want them to see this is why I do it. This is why I do it. These people all around the world are thinking and praying for me because I help them. And now they have the ability to do something they otherwise never would have. And the fear, the anxiety that they had before with not having a skill set like this, and it was only their job that maybe they were made redundant at. They got sacked, they're fired, lost it. COVID took a lot of people out of the job, and they've not been able to resurrect themselves from that. But my students have been able to do what? Find another way. Some of them had businesses that were ended, and they are now finding their way with this. And it just feels, man, really rewarding, not only because I'm appreciative of the feedback that I'm getting, but it